It's honestly been one of the most interesting homes that are sold in real estate. Before rehabbed, a couple of different people had listed it, and then finally someone took it on. It used to be a red house, turned it into a blue house. It's had a very active history.
Listed for sale in 2022, listing removed in 2023, listed for sale in 2023, pending 2023, listing removed
It
2023.
was on and off the market, and it was always that home that if you worked in real estate, you were like, I'm familiar with the home at 201 New Jersey Avenue.
And avoid it like the plague.
And avoided like the plague. First saw the home in 2024, and they'd done a top to bottom rehab. You finished all the floors, put in a new kitchen, put in new bathrooms, finished the third floor. This is where I was very honest at the time. I said the quality of finishes is really good. However, the functionality of how everything put together left something to desire. You had a kitchen area, and there was one window in the middle, kind of small galley kitchen that screamed out, why is this still here? Take it out. You could have put more cabinets at the top. You could have put more cabinets underneath, and it would have made it a much more practical kitchen. That ended up being one of the sticking points with the house. Is like the kitchen is really small. I took some buyers through, they gave me their feedback, and I very openly and honestly shared my feedback and their feedback with the sellers.
With the sellers or with their listing agent?
With the sellers, because it was a low service brokerage, which was essentially the equivalent of a for sale by owner. The sellers, they listed with a low service brokerage. They weren't offering any buyer agent commission at the time. They had not staged the property, had rehabbed it, and they figured, okay, the market in Collingswood is really strong. There are some other comps in the area that justify the price point. We shouldn't have any issues selling it. The difficulty is, they didn't do what was needed in the kitchen. Should have got it staged. They should have turned the bathroom on the third floor, the powder room. That really should have been a full bathroom, because then you could have turned that into a big master suite. Just several things that was like, okay, you took it here instead of taking it over here.
I'm seeing in 2024, January, it was listed for nearly $700,000. 2 months later, they dropped it to $685,000 because it didn't sell. 2 months after that, they took it off the market and then they listed it for rent.
And they managed to get a tenant in there fairly quickly. When the sellers reached out to me, they said, listen, we really appreciated the feedback that you gave us. You were very honest. We've also done our research and we see that you sell a lot of real estate in Collingswood. Can you help us sell it? And initially, I'm not going to lie, I was like, oh God, do I do I really want this listing? It's got a reputation. He invited me to come take a look at it while the tenant was still there. And I tell you, when I walked in and it was furnishings and artwork, I was like, I literally feel like I'm walking into a different house right now. So I told them from the get-go, I'll help you with this listing, but you are going to have to get this property staged. I think this was part of the problem. When they brought it to the market the first time, it was just completely empty and it felt like a big void box. You didn't really know where to place your furniture. One of the first things I did was get a staging company in, Philly Design Collective. They did a really great job. And it just helped bring the whole place to life. So the tenant, they had finally bought their own house, ended up moving out at the beginning of May. So we were able to bring the listing forward a little. I think we got it up and on market May 15th. Yeah. We hosted a couple of open houses, get people through. We actually had a decent amount of private showings. The feedback was fairly similar to the feedback that I had left over a year ago, which was nothing that I didn't expect, but we were able to procure a set of buyers for this property. We priced it right. We priced it at 665. We ended up closing at 665, which is great. It's what the sellers wanted.
So when they put it on the market for nearly 700,000 a year prior, you think that was just way too overpriced?
I think it was overpriced. Yeah.
How did you come up with the strategy for pricing it at 665?
I looked at the other variable comps in the area and I was assessing, knowing that we've got a little bit of like funkiness in terms of layout on this house. It's really important that we don't push it too much. Let's be a little bit more conservative with the price and we just aim to get as many people through the door as possible. We did hit the market at a really good time. There wasn't a lot else on the market. And then you also couple in the fact that they weren't offering any buyer agent compensation either. And then this time I said, you're going to have to offer some buyer agent compensation as well as get the home staged. And they were completely open to the advice that I offered them. The staging costs $3,900. Did the living room, the dining room, bits and pieces in the kitchens and bathrooms. We also staged the third floor as like an additional living room office area and the front porch. If we hadn't have got it staged, we would have had to probably done a price reduction to 650 or 640 even. Having that little bit of money spent at the beginning helped us just secure the price that the sellers wanted.